Jai Hind to all my loving children. So, due to network issues, I am recording my class today and I'll be sharing it with you in your e-content. So, last day, a quick revision. We were learning a very sensitive story about a young girl of 8 years whose name was Valli. And Valli has shared in this lines of this chapter, she has showcased her experience of a journey on a bus outside the world of a village. Right? This is what we were learning. So the fifth we have done already, Upasana? Yes, ma'am. So sixth, not a child. Are you writing the captions? Or for you to not to get bored, I have divided the paragraphs under some captions so that you don't get monotonous. Right? So, not a child. Valli said irritably, I am not a child, I tell you. I am 8 years old. Valli finally sat down. An elderly woman came and sat beside her. Valli found the woman absolute repulsive. Hello children, I want you to be connected with me virtually and physically. Some are talking, please don't do it. She had a big hole in her ears. Now this also happens with us, isn't it? When we travel, ऐसा कोई आके बगल में बैठ जाते, पान खाते, तो it's the same. So please do experience like Valli. Please everybody, right? So Valli, just when she was, all irritated because as a repulsive old lady, she came and sat beside her. She had big holes in her ear and she had a earring. She was wearing a earring in it and Valli could not tolerate that betel nut. She was chewing a betel nut. She could not tolerate that smell also. Right? She had a big hole in her ears and ugly earrings in them. She could smell the betel nut the woman was chewing. She asked if Valli was traveling alone. ये चीजें तो बहुत होती है. Whenever we also travel, some old people, if they come and sit beside you, कहाँ जा रहे हो बच्चे? कहाँ घर है? कौन सी गांव है? पापा क्या करते हैं? So we get all irritated with this interruptions, isn't it? Don't you get irritated? Yes or no? Don't you get irritated, children, there? Yes, we do. So, as Valli is also a young child, a young girl like you, she just got irritated and snapped. She said them to mind their own business. She cut short the woman as well as the conductor. She asked them to mind their own business. The old woman continued troubling Valli with her unpleasant questions, but I tell it interruptions. She asked why Valli was traveling alone, if she even knew where she was going. Valli retorted that she need not bother about her. She could take care of herself. Now see, how very determined, how very mature the young girl Valli is. If it had been any of my children out here, वो बोलने लगते हैं, हाँ मैं ये हूँ, हाँ मेरे घर ये है, हाँ मैं ये जा रही हूँ, isn't it? But जबकि आपके parents समझाते होंगे that when you are outside, don't get into any conversation with any unknown people, isn't it? But see, what Valli is teaching you something. Valli is so very mature. She did not answer to the lady, rather asked her to be quiet. Now, the next is saved money for first journey. Saved money for first journey. Right? Saved money for the first journey. So this caption, When I was young, I was a child like you. I used to wait for my grandmom to visit my place because I used to get 5 rupees. And it was only 5 rupees. That too I have to hide from my parents. उनको पता चलेगा तो वो लेने भी नहीं देंगे. But nowadays, the scenario is something different. Now your grandmom gives you, Nani gives you 50,000. You go to your daddy, blackmail, get 60,000. Then blackmail your mom, get 70,000. Isn't it? Two people are much, much richer than me. But in our time, we were not that rich. Okay. As Valli was a young girl who also went through troubles to manage that 60 paise which she would need to complete her venture, complete her journey. She saved that money, 60 paisa, how? By restraining her from going to merry-go-round or buying any toys or eating something. She saved her money, and the stray coins which it came to her, she took those coins and she saved it for the journey. 60 paise. It was very difficult for her to earn that 60 paisa. तुम लोग क्या समझो? Valli was said irritably, I'm not at saved money for the first journey. Valli's first journey came after a careful and painstaking planning. She saved whatever stray coins came her way. Finally, she had saved a total 60 paisa. He resisted every temptations like buying toys, balloons, ride the merry-go-round, etc. Now, these things we also do. When we determine to buy a willow bat, a cricket bat, or somebody is determined to buy a pretty dress for Diwali or a brand new bicycle, you people also save money, isn't it? You restrain yourself to going to the egg roll shop or to the chow mein corners, isn't it? You do it. Or going to any places where you would to buy something, you just save your money, isn't it? But do you save money for buying any books, anybody? No. Anybody there? No. Yes, they have said no. Very true. Nobody does. Very bad. Very bad. I'm not happy. I'm sad. Now, she saved whatever stray coins came to her way. Finally, she had saved a total of 60 paise. She restricted every temptations. Have you underlined, children? Like buying toys, balloons, and to ride the merry-go-round. Her next problem was how to slip out of the house without her whose notice? Mother's notice. Yes. Her mother would nap every day. What is nap, children? What is nap? A short sleep. Yeah. Sleep. Okay. For 1 to 4. What was the napping period for the mom? 1 to all together. Now 1 to 4. Yes. These 3 hours were for excursions. So she chalked out a plan that this 1 to 4, this time she would be using it for her journey, for her tour. Alright. So, next is reaching her destination. Reaching her destination. Reaching her destination. Reaching her destination. Right? Now, the bus was rushing through small hamlets. Suddenly, Valli clapped her hands. A young cow was running very fast right in the middle of the road. It was right in front of the bus. And this experience, all of us in Varanasi, we do have. Isn't it? When we moved from here, from your school to Lanka, you would, many a times, we have moved with the fleet of the buffaloes on their fashion ramp. They are moving and we just managed to move with them, isn't it? And if it happens so that the driver blares the horn, then one of the buffaloes, we expect them to run here and there and create a more chaos in the street, in the road. So we have all experienced about this. Yes or no? Yes, ma'am. So Valli was very happy to see that young cow jumping up and down and moving, running in a panic in the streets, as it was all panicked with the honks of the vehicle. And Valli she enjoyed so much that tears came to her eyes. Now, children, this episode of the cow jumping up and down, the author has shown two phases of this material world. The two phases of material world. The first phase is when we are alive. When we are alive, we are full with life. We are full with energy. And people on the other side, what they do? They enjoy seeing our liveliness. They enjoy seeing our liveliness. But when Valli returns from the town to the village during her return journey, she finds this young cow lying dead at the corner of the road. And people are moving past in their daily work, for their daily work or for their daily routine life. By this, the author wanted to show the two phases of this material world. The liveliness of the cow was enjoyed by Valli. In the same way, the liveliness of any living body is enjoyed by you. When Tulika ma'am is having all life, she is jumping, she is teaching you, she is happy, you are all happy with her. Isn't it? You are enjoying, you are laughing and you are responding me with your smiles, isn't it? But the other side is so ugly. The author has also very efficiently portrayed that ugly face of death, that is lifelessness. When Valli was returning and she saw the dead body of that young cow lying at the corner of the road, and she was sorrowed, she was morosed, she was in her tears, her eyes glued up. Understood? So, very efficiently, the author has shared the two phases of life, two phases of this material world here. Right? Now, she laughed with all her tears, and the tears came in her eyes. Then they passed through a railroad crossing. Then it passed through a busy but well laid out shopping street. Bright looking shops, what glittering display of clothes. Such a big crowd, thought Valli. Her destination had come. A 30 paisa could take her only to this place. The conductor asked her to get up. Valli replied that she was going back on the same bus. She handed her 30 paisa coins to the conductor. Right? So, she enjoyed the lighted, the crowded streets, the overcrowded shopping street, the shops. She enjoyed the hustle bustles of the city life. Right, children? समझ में आया? क्यों डर डर के देख रहा है? Now comes the return journey. Now comes the return journey. Are you writing, beta? The return journey. The conductor was surprised. The return journey. Have you written, children? Virtually, those who are connected to me virtually, please to come to the school. It's a long time that I have not met you people. Please to come and join me in my class. I'm missing Ayush. I'm missing all the other children whom I used to teach them. I used to interact with them. I'm missing everybody. Please to come to the school. Now, the return journey. The conductor was surprised. Valli told him that she just felt like having a bus ride again. He was greatly amused. He asked if she was not afraid of coming alone in the bus. She answered that there was nothing to be worried about. He was ready to offer a cold drink to her. Just see, she firmly said that she wanted only the ticket, nothing else. So, while returning back, Valli shared that she was very happy and she really enjoyed the journey to the town and then back to her village. And hearing this, and she also aspired to go for another venture another day. But what happened, children? The conductor was a bit tense and he asked, "Aren't you afraid, my little girl, to come along?" So why should I? See the maturity, see the self-determination of the little girl, Valli. She said, why she should be afraid about? What? Rather, she enjoyed a lot. During this, the conductor, he offered her a cold drink. हम लोग क्या करते हैं बेटा? हम लोग क्या करते हैं? वो भी कोल्ड ड्रिंक है? कोई चॉकलेट मिले तो तुरंत हाँ. But this is the difference with this young girl. She respected herself so much. She was so matured. She was so determined. जितना भी मम्मी पापा बोले कि बाहर वालों से नहीं खाना है, अनजान लोगों से बात नहीं करना है, हम लोग तभी करते. चॉकलेट है, wow, crackle, that to Amul, oh my God, I cannot keep myself, yummy. 2 बार ऐसे करेंगे फिर ले लेते हैं फिर, isn't it? But this little girl of 8 years old, she did not get trailed off and she did not accept that offer of cold drink. Rather, ticket without ticket. समझ में आया? हाँ. A cow lying dead. A cow lying dead. इसमें नहीं दिखेगा ना बाबू? Have you written? I'm just rubbing it out. A cow lying dead. Right? So, Valli wasn't bored during her return journey. She had the same excitement. Suddenly she saw a young cow lying dead by the roadside. It had been struck by some fast-moving vehicle. She was the same cow which she had seen before. When alive, she was a lovable, beautiful creature. समझ में आया? यही चीज हम समझा रहे थे तुम लोग को. Did you get it? Now she looked so horrible and frightening. Valli sat glued to her seat, and the bus reached her village at 3:40. Underline 3:40. I'll finish this chapter, then only you'll know, right? Are you enjoying, children? Yes, my physical class children, are you enjoying loudly? Yes. My virtual class children, I cannot hear you. Are you enjoying? Please join my class to make me more enthusiastic to teach you. Fill me up with all enthusiasm. Now, reached home. Reached home. Reached home. So she wished the conductor had hoped to see him again. When Valli entered her house, she found her mother awake and talking to one of her aunts. She was a real chatterbox. What does chatterbox mean, children? Like Abhimanyu. That is enough for my explanation. No. Like a costume. Right? So everybody understood what is chatterbox? A talkative person. इतना भी बातें इतना बोल ही सकते हैं हम क्यों? Her mother went on with her conversation. She opined that there were so many things in the world outside. जैसे वो घुसे उस दिन, the mother's sleeping hours were from 1 to 4. But that day she was awake and she was chattering with another chatterbox, a lady from a neighbor. And what they were saying, कि दुनिया में तो बहुत कुछ देखने का है, isn't it? They often couldn't understand them completely. Valli agreed to her mother. Valli was crossing. Valli just stopped and she agreed to her mother. All right. She said that so many things were happening without their knowledge. ये भी बोले कि कितना कुछ हो रहा है तुम्हारे जाने बिना, without your knowing, so many things are happening all around you. Her aunt called her just a chit of a girl she is. मतलब बड़ों की बात में नक अड़ाने वाली, टंग अड़ाने वाली लड़की है. She poked her nose in the conversation as though she were a grown lady. Valli smiled to herself but didn't want them to understand her smile. So why did Valli smile, children? Can anybody tell me? Why Valli smiled? Virtually connected children, can you tell me why Valli smiled? Okay, my physical students, can you tell me why Valli smiled? Because really, it's true that things around outside the village there are so many things which is not seen, which is not known to anybody. And it is also a real fact that so many things happen without anybody's knowledge. And she was a grown-up girl. That's it for my class today. What is your next mission? Your mission is to write your question answer exercises in your A notebooks. Thank you. Till then, Jai Hind. Be safe.